So OC scrims, trios. Where do you guys land right now?
Bunny.
Okay, Bunny. Yeah, I'm actually familiar with that. Okay, good. Okay, so little trivia question: what's the most important building to get in Bunny? You know?
Trump is kind of over top, but everyone lands there. I'd rather take fishing building and swimming next to it. That's one island.
Yeah. So I mean, that you're absolutely right. So because of the fact that you have like Trump, right? Like it is the most important building, but because it's like overcon, you can argue like, okay, it doesn't actually matter. Like I don't want it. Maybe I'll just land surf truck. Fine, it's a good start. Oh, you guys are on con too, yeah. So you just land surf. Found a llama. Okay, you see a truck cannon. This is a surge game. Okay, so you just found what out of a llama? What's the key thing that you just found?
Truck cannon.
Yep, exactly. So what does that mean for your surge? And I mean, yeah, you're right. Ton of ARM. Yeah, you can chug surge, exactly. So you should. The number one key priority right now is not even to fight these people. Honestly, is to go find a hill. If you can get this spot before anyone right now, which is kind of hard to do because you're really far, but if you can do it, your surge will be so solved. But I do like the fact that you're going for something because you might not get the hill. If you don't get the hill, then you're kind of screwed. So it's fine. I still like the play that you guys are doing. I'm curious. I want to see what your like surge route is. Also, wish I could see your items, but it seems like you guys are pretty stacked at the moment. Okay, next zone pulls. If you can get this right here, you guys are chilling. Ideally. Let's see. I mean, yeah, as long as this whole game, as long as you don't get knocked, the chuck cannon is extremely OP. It'll take you down game for sure. Because you can. I mean, the fact that you have ARM as well, you can just trade chuck cannon with AR tags over and over and over. So good. Positioning is like what I'm really looking for here. See what you guys can do. If you can find elevation somewhere mid zone or even dead side, I think you're fine. The amount of damage you guys have is pretty good. 70 above should get you above this first wave of surge pretty easily. Yep. This is a decent spot. Like you don't need surge right now. I mean, for next wave, I think like 50 player surge will happen. You will need surge for that, so you'll have to position for surge again. Oh, you're doing the thing. I'm curious how well this works. This seems a little dangerous to me. You know why? I'm worried.
Triple spray from Trump main arena.
Yeah, so essentially, as soon as second zone closes, or even I would even argue first zone closes, gliding is very, very scary. Could get you killed. If people are paying attention, they will focus one of you guys. I have no idea how you made this. I don't know. I swear any other lobby it'd be so difficult, but you made it. We'll pass it for now. But in the future, I would argue avoid gliding. It is an unnecessary risk. Walking is genuinely, it is slower but safer, much safer. But you guys do have somewhat center third. Like you're not dead center, but you're like pretty close to center third, which gives you a pretty good chance of pulling next in. But not perfect. You guys do know about center third, I'm assuming, right? About how like being dead center. See my mouse? If you guys position here, obviously you can't because there's already people there. But in a perfect world, if you position exactly where my mouse is, you have a guaranteed fourth zone pull. Okay.
No, we pulled the zone on where we went, and we pulled high and won the game from there.
Yeah. So the rotate seems simple. You should just follow the team that just left. You see the team on the map? So someone should. Oh, really? How many passes do you have?
We have. I think we have 2 or 3.
3. Okay. Again. The risk. That's what I'm curious about. It's like the risk of getting beamed out of the air. However, yeah, this should not be allowed. I'm not kidding. How the hell?
It's like so lucky.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like if you do this in elite scrims in any East, like you will not make it. It's almost like a hard rule. Like the thing that you learn from VOD reviews is like in scrims here is just straight up hard rule. Like if you glide, you will get beamed because it's a surge hungry lobby, right? Everyone's looking for tags. So if they see someone gliding, everyone's gonna jump on you like wolves. I don't know how this is happening. It's that they didn't. One thing you guys did do well is, I mean, since it worked, is the fact that you're now isolated. You're not close to anyone, so no one's gonna push you. However, you're still underserved, so you need to find a lot of tags. This will sometimes literally just come down to the fact that you need good aim, right? Opportunities will be in front of you, but if you have the good aim to supplement it, then you'll take advantage of those opportunities. Sometimes people die from surge, not because their positioning was bad, right? Because they have opportunities in front of them because their positioning was good, but their aim is just like bad. Like they have the opportunity, they let them slip. So sometimes it just comes down to your aim. A lot of people have like Kovac scenarios for surge and stuff. This is good. I like what you did there. No snipers in the game. You overpeaked to sort of bait them, right? You want to make sure that they're like opening, right? Maybe they need surge too. And you got at least some surge, right? Before it was like 60 to 70 below. Now you got a little bit of surge there. That was very good. Hold half, you crank. I like it. You have 2 pads too. So using those 2 pads, my plan this game would be to what? I'm actually gonna ask you guys. 2 pads left. When am I gonna use them?
Moving to like getting to moving zones and maybe getting height, maybe.
Yeah. So okay, let's try to draw a picture. Which moving is the longest moving in the game?
Is this the first one?
First moving. That's exactly right. So you would then argue that launch pads are most efficiently used in first moving, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, if you have the opportunity, obviously you have height already, as long as you can keep it, because I know there's someone contesting. You don't necessarily have it for the rest of the game yet, because half usually what happens is one side pulls height, like there's a team on one side of half and then a team on the other side of half, and they're sort of like stalemating, right? No one has it yet. What determines who gets it is first moving. Now I'm assuming if you guys played height this game, first moving pulls somewhere in the top half of the map, right? You guys pull it, so then the other team can't take it anymore. Okay, so then if that's the case, what I would do is conserve a lot of mats, right? Because obviously you guys had to crank. Maybe your mats aren't the best right now. To conserve a lot of mats, I would just use both pads in first moving. Pad halfway through first moving, stop, do a little bit of a checkpoint, and then pad again, right? That way, by the end of first moving, you guys all have really good mats. You won't even need to find an impact. Not even kidding. Especially in trios, you don't need impacts to hold height if you had good mats in half. Okay. Shotgun is really good. That kill is really good. Surge solved now because of that kill. That's really good. The only problem is the other side of them. You have to be very careful. Good thing there's no snipers, but they're building it very, very high. You have to be super aware of that. Nice. You're being aware. You place the ramps. Okay, don't pull top to half, right? Like just like I said, the stalemate's happening in half. It pulls towards you. Now you own height. You have height. The problem is you cannot crank right now. Why can't you crank right now? Like, or at least like you're already up, right? But like, why can't you start like, you know, claiming it as if you have it?
Everyone's gonna be gliding. You might get landed on and cranked on.
I mean, that's one of it, but I mean, the biggest reason is the fact that
you don't know where his height is.
This height is above you right now, right? You can't like start sitting up on top like as if you have it right now. You need to wait for these guys to drop. Once they drop, then you're good. Like then you own it for sure. You just can't
they're
like
not gonna like make a whole bridge over.
Yeah, exactly. But what the thing is, if you start cranking right now, they might spray you because you know zone's not moving yet. They're not being pressured off of this position, but they will eventually. The thing is, you guys have height because they have to move first. They have to get off of height first, and if they bridge over, you just spray at them, right? So you definitely own it. This is yours. First moving dictates who owns height. It's literally a luck game, but you know you put yourself in the position to flip that coin by being on height in half up. Okay, I like that you guys are AR pressuring. You don't need to go ahead. What I would say is launch pad.
I like beams from that. Yeah, I got a kill from 200.
That's crazy. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? Obviously, you guys are using mats, which is fine, but again, the launch pad is literally one of the best ways to save mats here. Right? So did you get an impact right here? Did you pick up those mats? I'm curious.
We couldn't. I don't think we had a pad actually.
Oh, you don't think so?
We had barely any mats, barely any AR, bro.
Yeah, if you didn't have a pad, then it would change the whole thing. Obviously, then you can't use a pad that you don't have. So you guys can connect to that hill. You're doing a good job so far. Like it seems good. Cause like once you have height, it's very easy to hold, right? You just have to be very careful of like the random flopper player, the random height cranking from ahead. In trios, it's extremely easy to hold. what you do have to worry about is I believe it's 35 meters or 30 meters. Do you guys know about the launch pad strat that people do? It's called the perfect launch pad, right? Where they mark height, right? It's like 30 to 35 meters, right? You're not even second height at that point. You're like third height to fourth height. Like you're like somewhere mid ground. You mark height and you do the perfect launch pad where you literally launch up and then completely land on them because you did the perfect launch pad. You have to watch out for that because that thing is really hard to react to if you're on height. It's extremely hard. It is very, very difficult, I will say. So if you can react to that and I mean somehow prepare for it, I haven't played Skim, so I don't really know what it is like to experience it. I've just seen it happen, so I would look for people that are looking up and pressure them more than anything. I'm assuming you ran out of AR. Yeah, you guys ran out of AR and you're low on max. Yeah, you're pumping people now. Where did all the air ammo go? Yeah, I think you guys should constantly be calming your AR and letting it spread out throughout the game.
Yeah.
Right? Because if anyone, especially second height, notices, looks up, single wood floors, all of you guys load your shotguns out. They will crank on you. Right? Or at least shoot you out. Because they know you're like scuffed. You do not want to... Like, there is something you can do right now. It's just like, don't give it away that you're scuffed. I wouldn't even try to pump people. Like, I wouldn't even do it. I would just only pump people that are going for height. Because if something that a lot of pro teams do is if they hear height pumping a lot, they know they have no AR. Then they'll like try to peek, right? So try to be a little quiet and like just don't give it away that you're scuffed. Try to hide it for as long as possible. But even better option than that is to not be scuffed in the first place, right? Is to spread out the AR. Make sure you constantly calm your team AR. Like, oh, I have 30 AR. Oh, you have 200? Okay, I can spray it, right? Because I know you can drop me. Oh, you only have 50? I have 30? Okay, now we need to slow down, guys. Like, let's spread it out. Make sure our AR ammo carries on till heal off, right? And you guys should win heal off because of the chuck cannon.